Hello, this is OverLordBou, and today we'll be talking about bow level 1 potato to level 80 shark. So pretty much that means is that over my time of playing WoWs, I just want to talk about what I've noticed as I've gotten better at the game, what I've noticed on what I've improved on, and so on and so forth, of what comes with becoming a better player, pretty much. So pretty much, let's just start back to about a year ago, I think. When do you think I first started trying to get better at the game SAT score? Do you know the exact time frame?
Nope. I believe that was before I believe that was before we met, so I can't give you a time.
Okay. So I think it was roughly around a year ago, maybe a year ago, when I was doing a lot more memey and being a lot more aggressive in game. And I wasn't really worrying about my skill level in game, and I was more just trying to meme and stuff. But then I kind of felt a little void when I was playing the game. And I was like, there has to be something a little bit more. So I started seeing that a lot on the YouTube or a lot around on like the Twitch scene. A lot of people were doing the same thing as me. Had fun, and there wasn't a lot of people that were like that back then. A lot of the older, bigger, like more well-known streamers, a lot of them were starting to leave and go do other things. So a lot of the people that knew or had the knowledge and the skill level to be able to teach people were kind of leaving. So I felt like that I should kind of step up at the plate and kind of try to get better myself. And then try to be a little bit more of like a role model in a way to like help teach people how to play. Like not to be like this all knowing, but just someone like they can see that is trying to get better over time pretty much. And they can see the journey from pretty much a level 1 potato to level 80 shark, which I am now. And I still know I have a lot more to learn, and I'm definitely not the best at the game or anything like that. But from my journey from where I was to now, I've noticed pretty much two main things. One is situational awareness, and two, positioning. I still make some of the mistakes I did in the past with being a little bit too aggressive. That's a really hard habit for me to break. But over time, I am starting to get a lot better at not being super aggressive and just being more situational awareness. Situational awareness is more just knowing what's going on around you and in the game itself. So, instance, you're on a flank that you're easily winning, and you could rotate your back around and help this flank that's losing. That's kind of situational awareness. And that's definitely something I've been getting a lot better at back than I did in the past. And my positioning as well, as in getting into the kiting position early, or knowing when to push a flank super aggressive, or just to hold an area and kind of wait for backup to move in. What do you think you've seen me improve on over your time of knowing me SAT score? What do you think?
Definitely aggression is part of it. Being too aggressive usually results in death, compared to, say, being too passive. So I find that's a common mistake among newer players, especially if you're a new destroyer player. They rush in, they take a fight they can't possibly win, they die, and their team rages at them. Pretty common mistake. But yeah, cutting back on that aggressiveness and knowing how to control it. Like, there are times where you want to be aggressive and take that free ground, but it takes a while for people to understand how to recognize these situations. And that's definitely one thing I've noticed you've been able to improve on. There's also like a general sense of gameplay. Like, as you play the game more, you understand how the game's gonna flow. So, like, let's say about a year ago, if I gave you a mini map and probably like the last 30 seconds of combat, you probably would not be able to tell me how the match is probably gonna go. That's kind of what I expect from newer to even a kind of average player. Like, yeah, they may know the ship's capabilities, they may know how certain mechanics work, but it's sometimes difficult to understand the overall picture of how the game works. So, as I said, if I give you a mini-map now, I give you the team lineup, and I give you about probably the last 10 or 15 seconds of what's happened, then you can probably tell me how the game is going to go with some relatively good accuracy. But if I give it to a new player or someone who, or even you probably about a year or two ago, then you probably would not tell me very much. You may say some basic things like, hey, this ship will probably win, this ship will die, but probably not tell me what the game's going to look like within the next 5 minutes.
Yep, and that's definitely something I've noticed as well, that I'm more able to predict the outcome of what's going to happen ahead of time, like being able to plan my movements and try to predict where my enemy is going to go. It's definitely something that's very important in WoWs, is being able to plan ahead of a match. Because if you just rush in, just going at the moment, you're most likely going to get outplayed by a better player, or you're just going to get outpositioned by people that are like that you didn't really predict. So being able to have situational awareness and being able to predict what's going to happen in the match ahead of time, even if it's like a 2 minutes, it can still save you in the match and give you a huge advantage.
Also, there has been a couple of different ways you've improved. Like, you've probably seen this when you were casting with me during the last King of the Seas. Like, at the very start, you weren't like terribly sure of like how ships were gonna behave, especially since King of the Seas is a very different format than your typical randoms battle. But as you casted more with me, you got more comfortable with understanding how the ships are gonna move and how players tend to think. How do you think that's impacted how you play?
That's definitely impacted on how I play, because I am able to look at my own matches more with like a sense from an outside view. Something that I had to work very hard on is being able to look into a match and say, not like, oh, my team sucked, it's their fault for losing, not me, and going to be like, what did I do wrong in this match? And what could I do better to make it where it doesn't happen again, sort of thing. Like, yes, there are some matches that are pretty much impossible to win, but no matter what, there's always something you could have done a little bit better in a match to make it where you could have done a little bit more damage, or got another kill, or maybe grabbed another cap. There's always something that, if you look at the whole picture and not just at your team, you're able to analyze the situation without getting angry per se. Because a lot of people will just like, oh my god, my team sucks. There's nothing I could have done better. But the thing is, there's always something you could have done better in a match, even how small it is. Like maybe winning the trade a little better, or positioning your ship a little bit better in a kiting position. There's always something you could have done just a little bit better to improve on if you're trying to actually like get better and learn in a match, which is what I'm doing. I'm trying to get better at the game so that I'm able to teach people the skill set so that they themselves can teach other people as well, and the whole player base as a whole can get better over time. And of course, I know not everyone's going to listen to my advice or want to listen to what I'm saying, but at the same time, I try to show it with my gameplay that, hey, I am getting better at this game, and I do kind of know what I'm talking about.
Usually the best way to know that you've mastered something is when you can start teaching other people. And definitely, we're at the point where we can teach other players like how to properly play World of Warships. Because like even some small mistakes that gets players killed, we will recognize that, we can point that out so we can avoid it.
Yep, exactly.
So do you have any advice for players that are trying to improve and get better at World of Warships?
Yeah,
general advice?
Well, the first general advice and the most important advice I would give is to look more at your own gameplay. Like if you died or if you lost a match, look what you could have done better in the match and not just seen it as my team sucked. That's the most important thing you can do. And once you get that mindset of being able to look at your own gameplay it's actually a mentality that you can carry over into a lot of games, not just World of Warships. So having that kind of mentality in any game is really, really good, because you're be more open to advice and to being able to see your own mistakes and improve upon them.
Of course, don't be overly critical of yourself. Everyone will make mistakes at some point. The important thing is knowing, hey, this is a mistake I could have done better here, so I'll try to avoid that part again. And that's how you improve your gameplay and win more games. Or farm more damage, whatever your goal is.
Yep, and that's pretty much what I've been working on, is improve my gameplay, my aim, my predictions, trying to predict what my enemy's gonna do. There's a lot of just small things that go into each match, and as well as clan battles. I'm also trying to improve my clan battles experience as well by playing more clan battles. So coming soon, I will be doing more clan battles as well, so I'll probably have more videos on that coming up in the future, but we'll see.
Well, that's really all the questions I have for you. Well, I guess maybe one more. What about resources for newer players? Did you find it hard to get information on how to become a better player about a year ago or so?
About a year ago, I did have trouble trying to find resources on how to improve and such. So that's why I've been making videos on like guides on how to set up the end game, like controls and tips on what mods you should use, what lines are best to grind. I have all those videos here, so it's easier for people to find the information as well, because like I said, a lot of the old content creators are gone from World of Warships and moved on to new games, or they just have had real life stuff going on. So it's like I'm trying to help the community in having I'm trying to pretty much just help out the community with trying to teach them and giving them the resources they can get with like one easy area with all the information there.
Alright. Well, that's all the questions I can think of for today. Do you have any questions for me, Bo?
No, I think we pretty much covered it. Pretty much from level 1 potato to level 80 shark. I think this pretty much covers it. So thank you so much for your time today, SAT score. I greatly appreciate and thank you for all the support. Thank you again. I greatly appreciate supporting these videos. But yep, that is all the time we have for the day. If you guys have any questions or concerns, definitely leave them down below in the comments. Thank y'all again, and talk to y'all later. Hey guys, this is OverLordBou. Just want to thank y'all for watching today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. I love reading your guys' comments. I'll see you guys in the next video. Blah!